it's Loretta. We're going to make a box for either 3x3 note cards or a 3x3 box for maybe a post-it note holder. To start with, we're going to cut a piece of cardstock for a base that measures 8 by 5.5. This is a We Are Memory Keepers cutter and scoreboard, which I am in love with. It does take some getting used to. These grooves keep everything really straight. Okay, after you make those two scores, you're going to score it again at 1 inch on the long side. Turn it and score it again at 1 inch. There are your score marks. I'm going to go ahead and fold on these score marks, and I'm going to go ahead and cut up to the score lines here and here, and then again from here and here. If you don't cut these perfectly straight, no one's really going to notice it, so don't sweat it too much. Okay, for the lid of my box, I'm going to cut my paper to 5 5/8 by 3 1/8. And it's hard to see it on camera, but this ruler shows all of those pesky little measurements that we tend to forget. And this is going to be scored at 1 inch on all 4 of the sides. We're going to fold on those score marks just like we did the bottom. And we're going to use our paper scissors, our paper cutting scissors. I cannot talk today. And we're going to cut from the middle score line here to the first score line there. 2 of the 4 sides, just like that, notching it out just slightly. Once again, that just kind of takes some bulk out of this box. So we're going to go ahead, and since I have it in my hand, we're going to do the lid first. And we're going to bring these in just like that. You do want to put a little glue on this middle tab as well right there on both sides. You don't need to be glue happy, but you do need enough for it to glue together. I'm going to put this to one side, and I'm going to put glue here and here and here and these two. So it's got glue on those 4 pieces. You can bring this up so the box will meet just like that. You kind of want to hold this together with your fingers, especially if you're using liquid glue. Now let's make sure that this top piece fits. Of course it fits just fine. This piece of cardstock measures in at 3 1/4 by 3 1/8. It's cut from the same yellow cardstock I used to make the lid. This layering piece, which once again is from Echo Park, measures in at 3 inches by 3 1/8. The pieces for the lid, I've cut 2 for only the long ends. They measure 3 1/2 by 7/8. And I've cut pieces for each of the long sides. And then this measures 3 inches by 3/4 of an inch. Okay, we're going to decorate the lid first, and to do this, I'm going to take a piece of ribbon that I've already cut. I'm going to put some glue on from here, right in the middle, kind of, sort of. You can use hot glue for this, but you don't really need to. So there's the glue. I've just cut a piece of ribbon, maybe 12 inches. And I'm going to place that down. Now this part you can definitely use hot glue. A little dab right here. And we're going to turn it over and put a little dab right there. And once we glue this into place, we're going to cut off the excess of the glue. Excuse me, we're going to cut off the excess of the ribbon. Okay, we're going to straighten that up. And I die cut just the top part of a bow. This one is from Pink and Main. And I have this piece of coordinating kind of a lavender purple color that's going to make the faux knot for the bow. And you can also use hot glue for this if you'd like. Be very careful if you do this though. As you can see, that finishes up very nicely. Fluff this up just a little bit. And I'm going to put some hot glue on the back side. Actually, I need to glue that down first. So that's what our box looks like right now. I have die cut about a 3-inch scalloped circle. And this is going to be the decoration for the front. You're only going to need to put glue on the bottom half, maybe 3/4. You can just take the lid off and glue the whole thing down. That's also will work just fine. Once again, you're going to eyeball this and put it into place. Earlier, I stamped and colored this image. It's also from Pink and Main, but I had something on my desk that was damp, so some of the color on this faded. I'm just going to quickly go back over this. This image was cut using my brother's Scan and Cut 2. I'm going to just center this in our circle towards the bottom. And before we make sure it's going to dry there, let's put the lid in to see if that needs to come down a little bit, and it does. You have a little bit of open time, especially with Tombow Mono Multi Glue, which is what I used when I wasn't using hot glue. And that will fit your 3x3 cards perfectly. This will either fit 3x3 inch note cards and their envelopes, or it will hold a post-it note perfectly. Actually, there's some room in there. And you can put a small pen in as well. I do not have one on my desk. That is the finished project. Still pictures will follow. If you haven't and you'd like to be, please subscribe to my channel. Leave me a thumbs up and share my videos on your social media. Alright everyone, before I forget, I would like to tell you that I do plan to make these both with cards and envelopes as well as post-it note pads for my upcoming craft fair, which is in July. If you have any questions, please email them to me, my email information, and all links will be down below this video. Full written instructions with a direct link to my blog will also be posted. Thanks so much.